There are many wonderful traditions during the holiday season, and one of them is the play La Pastorela. It's the shepherd story. We talk about the play and see some scenes from it today on Austin Faith Dialogue.
Austin Faith Dialogue, at the crossroads of religion and life. A series highlighting the cultural and social interactions between the worshiping and religious communities in and around the capital city. Austin Faith Dialogue is brought to you by the Austin Metropolitan Ministries in cooperation with KXAN. Join us now in Austin Faith Dialogue.
It's good to have you with us today on Austin Faith Dialogue when we talk about one of Austin's unique holiday traditions, the play La Pastorela. And joining us is the play's director, Tomas Salas, and you're with the Center for Mexican American Cultural Arts, correct?
That's correct, yes.
As director, what is your responsibility for pulling this production together?
Pretty much involves everything from beginning to end, starting with looking over the script, and in this case the script changes every year, and so one of the first things I did this year is went through what we did last year and in the previous years and made some changes and decided to stick with what ended up coming up with after working on it for a little while. Then the second thing was casting the show, so we held auditions and actors came in and I had to decide who was going to play what part. And now we're in rehearsals, and it's being there and telling the actors where to stand, sometimes how to deliver their lines, etc.
I would guess that unfortunately not many people yet know this shepherd story. So tell us, at least in broad outline, what is the plot of La Pastorela?
Okay, La Pastorela is a story that takes place on the night that Jesus is born. And there is a group of shepherds tending their sheep out in the fields. They're quite a distance from Bethlehem, and they lay down to sleep. And during the night, one of the shepherds, in our case, Gila, a young woman, has a dream. And in her dream, St. Michael, the archangel, appears to her. And what we do, we always have St. Michael played by a woman. And one of the actor that's playing that part will be here with us today. But she appears to the shepherd and tells her there's this miracle in Bethlehem and you need to tell the other shepherds and all of you should go pay homage to the newborn king. So she goes back to sleep, and in the morning she wakes up and tells the shepherds we have to go on this journey. In the meantime, the devil gets wind of what's going on and decides that he has to stop the shepherds from getting to Bethlehem. That's more converts, to the new king. So if he can at least stop them from getting there, he can have an effect on things. And so they proceed to make the journey, and on the way, the devil keeps sending first other devils to try to stop them from getting there. And St. Michael is watching from heaven and also sends angels to help the shepherds get there. And then finally, they get to the part where the main devil, Luzbel, decides he has to go down himself because his other devils haven't been able to accomplish the task. So St. Michael decides, well, I better go down also. And then so they battle it out over the shepherds. And of course, St. Michael wins and then guides the shepherds the last part of the journey to Bethlehem. And that's basically the story. We do it as a musical comedy, and it's traditionally been done that way. It's a piece that has been performed in this part of the world for at least 500 years, and it was brought over by I believe it was a Jesuit priest from Spain when they colonized Mexico. They brought it and they used it as a tool to teach the native people about Christianity.
So it's a particularly Mexican-American custom.
It is.
And I understand the play here in Austin is performed, though, in both Spanish and English. Any particular reason why it's bilingual?
I think for me, I've chosen that because a lot of our audiences, even Mexican-American audiences, don't understand Spanish or don't speak Spanish. And it's also who we are. Most of us Mexican-Americans do speak both languages, and English tends to be the language that we speak the most, but we haven't forgotten our Spanish, and I think it really talks about who we are today, our culture today.
Now, you mentioned that we have one, actually we have two of the performers in the show who are here on this program.
Mm-hmm.
So introduce the first person to us and tell us what this character is getting ready to do.
Okay. This first person we have on is Patricia Redondo, and she plays Luzbel, which is the leader of the devils. And she is about to read from the script the part where she makes her first entrance into the play. And she's just found out, or is finding out, what's going on with the shepherds and that this new king has been born.
Okay.
From the deepest, darkest cavern in the abyss of my inferno, I have emerged from my tavern. To learn the truth I must know. Abismado me hallo toda confusa, porque ha nacido el Mesías, de aquella mujer más leal. Pero oh, malaya sea mi suerte, to put me to shame. El cielo se me ha bajado, but the earth lifts me up. Pecado, dime qué ha pasado, dime del cielo que brilla, de esa rara maravilla. What have you been able to see en el otro lado?
Sounds like it's a powerful 2 hours together. Now, there are women, and I assume men, all adults in the play. Who performs?
We have adults and children, all ages. We've had in previous years, this is our 4th year to do this, by the way, our group, the Mexican American Cultural Center. Last year we had our 2 youngest ones were both 5 years old, and this year again we're going to have some youngsters, probably I think 5 or 6-year-old children, and there's teenagers, people in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. And
I would assume that you need to take people who already have some drama experience so that they can really portray the characters well.
We do, but not necessarily so for all the parts. For the main roles, we do usually employ actors who have some experience, but we never turn anyone away that wants to participate in the show. It's a community event, and we want as many people as possible to participate in it. So for the chorus, which is the angels, devils, and shepherds, anyone is welcome to come and participate. And when they show up, we ask them, if they want to be a shepherd or a devil or an angel. And of course, a lot of people want to be the devil, so I have to kind of say, well, we have enough devils already. But it's open to anyone.
Actually, that sounds very much like the experience of some of us in school plays, showing up and being given a part. So who then comes to watch? Is it just somebody's family?
Pretty much, it's a general representation of Austin. We get everything from tourists to people that live in the neighborhood to people from West Austin. Every year we've gotten quite a bit of publicity. So there's a cross-section of Austin coming to see the show, and then we pass out information to the hotels, so sometimes the tourists that are in town will come out and see the show also.
Great community event. Now, Tomas, you said this is a musical. It's not just spoken word.
Right.
And I know that the other person who's here to share with us some of her role does some of the singing. How is the singing woven in? And is it melodies that are just, say, native to Austin, or did they come with part of the tradition from Spain ago?
Some of the songs are traditional. They've been passed on. And some of them are new songs. Some have been written for this production in particular. Marita de la Torre, who we're going to see in a minute, she is playing San Miguel, the archangel. And this song that she's going to sing was actually written by Jose Flores, who's our musical director. He wrote the lyrics for this song that she's going to sing, and it's when Saint Michael makes her appearance to the shepherd and kind of introduces herself and why she's come to see the shepherd.
And of course, during the actual performance, the music is accompanied.
Yes, we have live musicians during the show who will be there. We'll have a band up on a platform, and then we'll have some musicians with the cast. And one of the things that we're going to do this year is that we have some young people, some of the children that play musical instruments. So for the first time this year, we've asked them to bring their instruments if they play. And we have already discovered we have a great violin player who's like, I think 11 or 12 years old, and a couple of flute players, and so they'll have their instruments and they'll be playing during the show also.
Sounds like a treat. Well, let's hear from San Miguel then.
Hi, my name is Marita, and again, I play San Miguel at La Pastorela. And please come see the show so you can actually hear the song, which I'm about to sing a cappella with the wonderful sounds of Conjunto Aslan and also our musical director, Jose Flores. So here it is, San Miguel song for Pastorela. Canto al pie de los pastores, pa' que sepan que los quiero. Ustedes no me conocen, he bajado desde el cielo pa' traerles la noticia a todito el mundo entero, que antes de que cante el gallo, nacerá el mero mero. ¿Qué voy a hacer? Si de veras te quiero, ya te adoré. Y olvidarte no puedo. Dicen que para conseguirlos he de hallar una fortuna. Tengo que bajar del cielo las estrellas y la luna. No les bajaré la luna, ni las estrellas tampoco. Y aunque no tenga fortuna, me quedarán poquito a poco. ¿Qué voy a hacer? Si de veras te quiero, ya te adoré. Y olvidarte no puedo.
That'll be a real treat. Are there opportunities for the audience to participate in any singing?
If they want, yeah. Some of the songs we do like some traditional Christmas songs at the end, like Silent Night and some of those songs. So at the end of the show, there'll be a sing-along where the audience can.
And you said earlier that you go back and look at last year's play then to create this year's. Is that the same for the music also?
Yes, yes. And every year we've added some new things, you know, so either a new song or a couple of new songs. We've changed some of the work that we've done with it. We also like to incorporate different kinds of music. We have the traditional Mexican music in it, and we also last year and year before we've had gospel music, and then we also have rock and roll and funk music. That's usually the music for the devils. And this year, one of the things that we're going to try to do is kind of have for Luzbel, we're trying to create a punk mariachis kind of style or sound, if we can get that out of her.
I'm intrigued. That may be a first for Austin. We are the live music capital, but still, that'll be an interesting stretch.
It'll be unusual.
Well, there's lots more questions, so we'll come back. Thank you for joining us for this first half of Austin Faith Dialogue. Stay here. We'll be right back. We're glad you're here for Austin Faith Dialogue, and today we're talking about a unique Austin holiday tradition. It's La Pastorela, the shepherd story, done in both English and Spanish. The whole community is welcome. And our special guest is Tomas Salas. You're the director of the play for, what, the fourth year now?
Actually, the first year I directed, and in the second year, but I didn't direct it last year, and then I'm going to direct it again this year.
Now, Tomas, this is a huge investment of time, I'm sure.
It is.
Especially for you, but also for the performers. What is it you think that motivates people to spend this much time at what's a busy time of year, too?
I think for me what's really brought people back, a lot of people coming back, is the fun that we have. You have all these people together and they make new friends, and there's always, you know, before the little groups of friends form and they're talking, they get to see each other, play around, the kids, and then after the show people usually hang around, and talk, and it's kind of a social thing. It's like a way for us to get together as a community and just enjoy each other's company.
And the play also has, of course, a real religious significance because the two main characters are Luzbel and San Miguel, Lucifer and Saint Michael. What motivates people to participate in this particularly religious experience, do you think?
I think one of the reasons is that it's done in a kind of lighthearted way. Not to say that it treats religion as something lighthearted, but it's done in a fun way so that people really enjoy being there and listening to the message, which is the basic message of good and evil, and that good will win out, in the end. And I think that's a message that most of us believe in, and when it's done with comedy and music and just being there and seeing the kids perform, I think all of that, makes people want to come back and participate.
And there are a couple of scenes, of course, where Luzbel and San Miguel are actually talking to each other or fighting with each other.
Right.
We have two scenes to do. What is this first one that they're going to do? The
first one they're going to do is they've both decided to come down for themselves. They've sent angels and devils to fight over the shepherds or try to lead the shepherds astray or keep them on the right track. And so they both decide to come down and deal with each other and see who's going to win the shepherds over. And so at this point, Luzbel gets there and San Miguel gets there, and they're standing in front of the shepherds talking to them.
Okay.
O hell, my arch enemy is here. You will see that I have no fear.
Before I accompany you, my good shepherds, there is something I must do. Tell me, you lying serpent, how do you intend to fool these shepherds that I will defend? It won't be easy, infernal beast. Out of you we will make a feast.
You, San Miguel, will have to pay for offending me in this way. I call upon all my infernal legions of the damned to crush this arrogant archangel and make war on the Son of Man.
If you choose to fight with violence, you do so in vain. Your firepower is weak. We will cause you so much pain. Surrender now. It is mercy you must seek.
Why should I surrender?
You cannot defend yourself.
Me against who? Tell me, Miguel.
Almighty God, that's who, you fool.
Now, Miguel, you must know all the power that I have to show. Y para que lo veas mejor, 1000 pedazos te han de hacer. Que viva el infierno.
Well, let's hope Infierno doesn't. We hope good wins out. Now, our actors here are ordinary Austin citizens. Is there anybody that the community might know, a name person who's also in the play?
Actually, these two actors that just got through performing have been in several shows in town, and in some movies also. They're professional actors, and you may have seen them in some films that have been shot locally and also on the different stages around town. I think they've both performed in several different places, the Paramount Theater, Zach Scott, different theaters around town. One of the things that I wanted to mention was about the scene that we just saw is that they're about to fight, and one of the things that traditionally the way it was done when the priests taught it to the native people was they would fight with swords, with wooden swords. And the way we have them battle is with music and dancing. And so in this case, they're both going to sing. San Miguel will sing a phrase, and then Luzbel will sing a phrase, and then that's how they battle. And of course, San Miguel has the more beautiful voice and ends up winning the battle. And we also have the devils battle right before they do their battle by dancing. The devils will get up and do a little dance, choreographed dance, and then the angels will get up. And previous years we've had break dancers from the community, these group of kids that get up there and do their break dancing, and different styles of dancing, that ballet folklorico or hip-hop dancing and different things like that.
And I would have a hard time imagining all of this taking place just on one stage. But am I correct that the performance actually happens in a huge area and the performers don't stay in one place? Can you describe the movement?
Yes, we have, it, and this is the way it's traditionally done. There's three stages. One represents heaven and also Bethlehem at the end, and the other stage represents hell at the other end of the space. And then in the middle, we have a stage that represents earth. And we do it in this huge warehouse. It's a big open space, and we have the audience sitting in 4 different sections. And the way it actually forms a cross, if you look from the top down, the way the stages are set up, it forms a cross.
More symbolism even in the seating of the audience.
Yes.
Now, the other scene that Luzbel and San Miguel do is, I assume, further on in the play. And what's happening as this is happening?
Okay, this next scene that we're going to see, they've already had their little battle, and of course San Miguel has won, and so Miguel is telling Luzbel what to do now.
Get up and get thee back to hell, for I really ring your bell. It is Almighty's God's love flowing from up above that allows me to sing and prove you are not the king.
I will return to hell as you so order, Miguel. Volcanes he de encender, furias le he de preparar al que acaba de nacer. But for now, I return to my abyss, where your face I will not miss.
I give you thanks, O Lord, and Mary, sweet mother of Jesus. Hear me, O gentle shepherds. Let your happiness guide the way. Go, rejoice the birth of the Niño on this blessed Christmas day.
Patricia and Marita are strong actresses.
They're awesome.
Should be a wonderful performance.
Really fortunate this year, and actually every year we've had a great group of actors come in, and every year, you know, it's just amazing to see the performances. You know, by the end of the rehearsal period, and when they're in front of the audience, they just every year there's been some standouts. You know, and the reviews have been great. And I think again this year, I want it to be the best. You know, every year I want it to be better than the year before, and so I'm sure it will.
And of course, there's a lot going on in Austin during the holiday season. So how would you convince the general public to come, if they're only going to choose maybe 1 or 2 things, to come to La Pastorela?
I would say they should be there because they're going to have so much fun. And just every year I sit and watch as people are leaving, and the smiles on their faces, that makes it all worthwhile. And I think that just tells me everybody enjoys, you know, everybody that's come to see the show has enjoyed, and they go out and tell other people, and some come back several times and bring their friends.
So have you added performances from one year to another?
We haven't, mainly because of time, you know, because the Christmas holidays, a lot of the kids go on vacation and right as soon as they get out of school, so we kind of have kept it to a couple of weekends in December. And it's actually the 2nd and 3rd weekend of December, starting December 7th through the December 17th.
Right. And we've got the telephone number there, so people are sure to call. Is this a benefit event, by the way, or are you simply covering the costs of putting on the production?
The monies that we raise at the door go to cover the cost of the production. Usually the production ends up costing more than what we make at the box office, but we also get sponsorships, and eventually, I think if we get a bigger space, you know, just because of the limited number of seats, we can only hold 299 people in the warehouse. And once our new center is built, and we're planning to have an 800-seat theater, and I think at that point it would make money for the center to continue the programs at the center.
So when the center seats 800 people, there you'll be still directing La Pastorela?
Maybe, I'm not so sure, but I hope, what I'd like to see is, of course, for it to continue and for there to be opportunities for other people who would like to direct it to do the show. You know, I think it's time for me to hand it over to someone else.
Do you know if any other city in the Central Texas area does La Pastorela?
Yes, San Antonio has been doing it, and for years and years and years, and they do it in Houston. A lot of the little towns in the valley also do it. El Paso, they do it. Austin had done it every year, like starting in the 1920s to about the 1950s, and then for some reason or another it had discontinued. And the script that I found was actually from Austin. It was a handwritten script from a neighborhood by Pan Am Rec Center. One of the families that lived there gave us a copy of a handwritten script that their father had written or their grandfather. And we took that, and that's the script that we started working with every year. And that one was actually all in Spanish, and so we've added the English over the years, and have kind of revived the tradition. You know, it had died out, but now it's back. And
actually, then that's a wonderful piece of Austin's history.
Yes.
that we shouldn't lose.
Yes.
Are there special prices or availability or whatever for church groups? Since we're talking about a production that really is based on a religious story.
Yeah, yes, we definitely have group discounts for churches, and we want to encourage all the churches to bring their communities out and to come and see the show. In the past couple of years, we've had a few where they bring a bus of a group from their church, and it's great to have them in the audience.
And I also wonder, as you've been working with this production over these years, yes, you've had fun, but what has this done perhaps for your own spiritual growth, for your own interior journey?
I think that it's made me a lot more patient, and it's helped me to I think just understand what the real rewards in life are, you know, and I know that we're here for a certain amount of time, and so there's certain things that you don't get from anything else, you know, that money can't buy. You know, just the joy from doing this is, I think, has helped me a lot to be a calmer person and to have a lot more patience.
I think many of us find that to be true. When we involve ourselves in something that's faith-based, we find that we really grow a lot. So one more time, what will you want to say to the Austin area about La Pastorela?
Please come out and see this beautiful, wonderful show, and I promise you that you will have a good time.
And it's December 7th through the 17th on the weekends.
Mm-hmm. And it's Thursday, Friday, and Saturday at 8 p.m. and on Sundays at 3 in the afternoon.
And a wonderful addition to people's holiday traditions. They won't see this play anywhere else except
true.
at the center.
That's true.
Right? Well, I do appreciate your being here and the fact that Patricia and Marita came to show us something of how wonderful the performances are going to be. And next year we'll see how it's grown and changed. I'll have to have you all back with some musicians.
Yes, definitely. Thank you so much for having us.
It's been a pleasure to have you, and a pleasure to have you tune in today on Austin Faith Dialogue. We'll look forward to seeing you again next week.